Yeah, it's just Rand Paul back at it again with the... Let's just watch the video. So who is Rand Paul? He's a Republican U.S. state senator and was one of the main bootlicking Donald Trump defenders. So just an overall pretty shitty person looking at this alone. But let's take a short little rundown of a few of Paul's past coronavirus takes. Back in July of 2020, he urged schools to reopen despite caution against doing so, which many schools did that fall. Infection rates surged nationwide dramatically, including a 14% increase in child cases. He claimed New York had reached herd immunity from the coronavirus and is no longer having the pandemic. Back in September. And then in November, as COVID cases spiked to record-breaking levels, he released a statement encouraging those who had gotten COVID and recovered to go celebrate, throw away their masks, go to restaurants, and live again. And then proceeded to falsely claim that those who recovered are now immune. Then, at a coronavirus hearing, he said, "We shouldn't presume that a group of experts somehow know what's best for everyone." This is just a little summary of what he has to offer when it comes to coronavirus takes. So, wonder what bad take Senator Paul is going to give us today.
You're telling everybody to wear a mask, whether they've had an infection or a vaccine. What I'm saying is they have immunity, and everybody agrees they have immunity. What studies do you have that people that have had the vaccine or have had the infection are spreading the infection? If we're not spreading the infection, isn't it just theater?
No, it's
not.
not.
The vaccine and you're wearing 2 masks. Isn't that theater?
It's not political theater because we don't know yet if it's still contagious after you get the vaccine. It's better to be safe than sorry. Can we make masks normal? I've not even had a cough or a cold in over a year. If you have a cold, wear a fucking mask, please. Yeah, you know how in Asia they've normalized wearing masks? Not even normalized, but they've made it a trend to wear masks. Can we please do that here? We're so far gone though, I don't even know if we can do that. If we can't even get people to wear a mask when it's necessary, I don't know how we're gonna make it a trend. To be fair, they use masks. Their air is so fucking polluted. In a lot of areas though, it's not even that polluted compared to America. But since it's still a trend there, they'll wear it. That's the reason why it started, and then it caught up as a fashion trend. I actually don't remember why it was started. What is the origin? What the fuck is this? I literally hate people. Common questions. Will wearing a mask during sex prevent COVID-19? During sex, wearing a mask is not likely What do you mean not likely? Not likely to prevent transmission if one of the partners has COVID? Okay, I'm no sex expert, so don't take any sex ed advice from me, but I can assure you that it will definitely not prevent transmission. Sex expert hand hunt mods. Hey, I didn't say sex expert, a sexpert. Is that a sex expert? Ah, shit, that is. Glory holes then? This is the same logic. When people in chat ask, are glory holes a way to prevent COVID transmission for sex? That's also not a thing. Even if you can't see the person that is in you, they are still in you. Face mask culture in Asia originated in Japan as the country grappled with the Spanish flu outbreak in 1918. Yeah, I heard it was like a flu outbreak and it just stuck. So, for example, the COVID outbreak, I feel like it's gonna stick for some people. But unfortunately, our last president kind of made it a huge thing to not wear face masks, so it's not going to stick for half the country. Pause, Anna. Wait, did I pause something?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
How did I get so...
And with the theater, let's get down to the facts. Okay, the studies that you quote look at in vitro examination of memory immunity, which in their paper they specifically say this does not necessarily pertain to the actual protection. It's in vitro. The other thing is that when you talk about reinfection and you don't keep in the concept of variants, that's an entirely different ballgame. That's a good reason for a mask. In the South African study, they found that people who were infected with wild type and were exposed to the variant in South Africa, the 351, it was as if they had never been infected before. They had no protection. So when you talk about reinfection, you've got to make sure you're talking about wild type. I agree with you that you very likely would have protection from wild type for at least 6 months, if
Point
you're
to the-
infected. But
point to
we
the
in our
study,
country
Doug. Point to
now
the study
have
that
variants that are
shows
circulating.
Significant reinfection. What study shows significant reinfection, hospitalization, and death after either natural infection or the vaccine? It doesn't exist. There is no evidence that there are significant reinfections after vaccine. In fact, I don't think we have a hospitalization in the United States after the 2-week period after the second vaccination.
Did he just agree that there's not enough evidence? Why would you take the chance? I don't understand. Just put on the fucking mask. Lack of evidence does not mean it can't happen. Exactly. A lack of evidence, I feel like that means that you should not risk it. People are dying from this. Why would you risk it? He knows there's not enough evidence to be saying that it's an act of theater. That's why I said we're making the same point as him, but from the other side, we say not to risk it because we don't know. He's saying they have no grounds to force us to wear a mask because they don't know. But the thing is, I feel like it's so different because the side of, yes, keep wearing masks. There are so many reasons for it. It's because if it was a case that it does spread the virus, then we would be saving lives. But his point, he's just arguing it's going to be harder to breathe. I don't even understand. There's no good excuse. There's no good argument. Not only risk that, but also citizens to risk that in a nation without universal health care. Especially how bad it is in America right now. We cannot risk one person spreading it to even another person. We should do whatever we can to mitigate the spread. Yeah, imagine these chuds in World War I. Why would I wear a mask?
My freedoms! There's no data that these gas masks actually prevent us from inhaling the toxins in the air. So why would we wear a mask?
Huh? It's better to be safe than sorry. Can he provide, like, some good reasons why it's so hard to wear a mask? Yeah, anyways, wearing a mask is just the minimum you can do. So why not just do it?
See the world with you.